Okay, so in the previous tutorial we have seen how we can move our character based on the cardinal directions and how we can play the correct animation. But as I mentioned before, we can do some improvements to these uh, animations. First thing is we have to fix uh, the walking and accelerating speed for the character when he is moving. Okay, so in order to do that, actually, I have created this config structure before, but I think maybe this is the correct position to explain about this specific data structure. But in case if you missed the implementation, we have implemented all these data structures at the previous tutorial, which is cardinal direction based cycle animation topic. But just to give a quick insight, what we have done was we have created a variable called snmconfig to track or record the maximum walk speed and maximum acceleration for a specific animation sequence. And then what I done was for inside this snmjog data structure, I have assigned a different field or another field called config that reference that specific data structure, which is snmconfig. There we can configure these values as well. But then since we add that data structure to this specific field, and this snm jog is referenced at this snm set data structure, automatically we get those configurable values here as well, right? And ultimately, since this snm set is used as the reference record for this dtanim set data table, uh, we have these configurable values at our data table level as well, right? So that's the implementation we have so far. So now what we have to do is we have to figure out how we can read this data table and apply these values for our character. Okay, so in order to do that, now I think we have to go to our component, locomotion component. So it's in the TPS game, blueprints, components, and here we have BPS locomotion system component. Okay, so there I think maybe we can create a set of helper functions to achieve this thing. So first I will create a new function called set max walk speed, and these functions simply get the current movement related walk speed reference and update it. But in order to get that reference, I think at the beginning play we may have to capture that movement reference. Yeah, so in order to do that, maybe I will plug this initialization for the second pin, and for the first pin let's get the owner, and I'll promote it to a variable called owner, and maybe we can assign it to a category called references. Yeah, so now owner is a reference, and we can cast it to the character and get the character reference as well. So let's save that thing as character, and I'll move it to the references category. And then We can use this character reference and maybe get the character movement. We can promote it to a variable called character movement. So it has been automatically assigned for this components category. So let's keep it as it is. Right, so now we have the reference for the character movements. Then what we can do is we can use that character movement reference here at our set max walk speed function, and we can set the max walk speed variable like this. So I'll parameterize this variable so we can tweak these values later on. And similarly let's create another function for set max acceleration, and there we can get the character movement reference and set the max acceleration, and I'll parameterize that variable as well. Okay, so since we have now set of setters and getters, maybe I think we can categorize these two different categories. Maybe I'll push these getters for a category called getters, and these setters for the category called setters. But you can give a proper category name if you prefer different one. But for the simplicity, I have given these two names. Okay, now what we can do is we can create a new function called set movement config to generally set these values. So for now I will hard code these values. Maybe let's say our walk speed is 1000, and maybe let's say our maximum acceleration is 3000. Right, so these are just hard coded values just for the reference. And now I can call this movement config function at begin play soon after this anim set has been set up, maybe like here. Right? Plus I will assign this to the setters category. Right, yeah. Now maybe we can play this thing, and instantly I can feel that walk speed has been applied, right? So it is bit faster than we experienced before. So maybe we can slow this thing down for a bit as well. Now you can see we have very slow walk speed, right? Plus the acceleration, which means these are working properly. And now instead of hard coding these values, we have to take this from the data table. So to do that, let's create a new function called get movement config from anim set, and I'll make it as a pure function because this is simply a getter, and I'll assign it to the getters category. And now based on the anim set name, I can get the anim set, and I can break that specific data structure and get the jog, and here we have this config, which is the config value that we require. So I'll return that specific config, right? And maybe I can hide these unconnected pins like this. and organize the code a little bit. Yeah, now we can get this config out of this data table. So at the set movement config function, we can use this getter, and maybe we can break this thing. And for the max walk speed, let's plug this pin, and for the max acceleration, we can plug this pin. If I compile, save, and play now, you can see now the values are applying based on the values we provided at the data table, right? So let me quickly see my reference. Yeah. So inside the data table, actually I have been keep this default value as it is, but maybe you can pick these values, like let's say 400, 1200, but I think that's the default walk speed that we have, and it also seems fine, but maybe let's increase this further. Plus actually this is not the proper place that we need to do. Maybe, yeah, I'll keep it as 400, but we have to set this anim set to unknown, right? Now you can see that speed value has been applied, which is 400, but it seems a bit slow. So maybe I'll make it as 600 and play that again. Now I think it's much better. Yeah. So for the pistol and rifle as well, I'll make that walk speed as 600. And let's test those things. Well, yeah, that walk speed seems fine. Yeah, plus you can see like there is sort of animation flickering at the backward animation. We can resolve that thing as well in the next tutorial as an improvement, but for now I think forward, left and rights are working properly. Okay, let's check rifle, and forward is okay, left is fine, right is fine, and backward is also fine. Yeah, great. Yeah, so I think that's how we can configure the uh, walk speed and accelerations for our character. And maybe if you want multiple different configurations to be applied, what you can simply do is you can maybe add new records to this specific SNM config data structure and tweak those values at the data table. And once it has been done, you can go to this set movement config, and the respective new fields will be appeared here, and based on those field values you can add more dynamic configurations, right? But for now I think for this state configuring max walk speed and the acceleration would be fine. And yeah, so that's how we can configure the movement configurations dynamically. And yeah, thank you. See you in the next tutorial.